I appreciate this morning. I don't really think much needs to be added. I just wanted to say that I appreciate the Lord's emphasis this morning in making an invitation, and yet at the same time putting the responsibility on those that He's speaking to come. You know, when He gave the invitation for the great supper, that's what He said. He prepared the supper. He prepared everything. And then He sent out the invitation, come, for all things are now ready. But it was up to the people that He invited to either choose to come or choose to make an excuse. And I just appreciate that He is reaching out, and I want to join in prayer that the Lord will make this conviction real and bear witness to that, because that's when you know you've got something real. You know, I thought about, who was it, the eunuch, the Ethiopian eunuch there that Philip was sent to. Philip was sent to him, and he was reading the scriptures and didn't understand what he was reading. Philip even asked him, do you understand what you're reading? He said, no, how can I unless somebody guides me? And well, God sent him there to guide him. So he took him through the scriptures, starting where he was reading there, and explained to him about Christ. But as they rode along, they reached to a point where finally, who was it that asked about baptism? It was a eunuch. He said, here's water. What hinders me from being baptized? Is there anything that should stop me from being baptized? And what did Philip tell him? If you believe with all your heart, you may. It was a matter of the heart. That's what God was after. But if you believe with all your heart, absolutely. And yet it was a eunuch that felt that need to come and say, I want to be a part of this. I want to lay hold of this. And I just appreciate it, because it is baptism. It's a symbol, but it's a symbol of something real. You know, think about a marriage. You know, let me ask you this. What makes a marriage, a real marriage, the way God would look at it? Is it going through a marriage ceremony? I mean, Lord, look out in the world. Don't people have weddings all the time? Are those examples of real marriages the way God, planned and intended it to be? No, a marriage is something that's really formed in the heart. It's when two people are willing to commit their hearts and their lives together. And yet, there is a wedding ceremony. There's a marriage ceremony, and until that takes place, they're not married. You know, the work is done, and in the heart, the hearts may be prepared, but there does come a time where there's a ceremony, and then they're married after that. I believe it's very much the same thing with baptism. It's a symbol of something that only it happens in the heart. The reality is in the heart, and yet there's something He's given us that's an outward sign of that, an outward expression of that. And I just want to pray and join Him, and just that God will make this real, because it needs to be genuine. It needs to be real. It's so easy to do so much in religion that's just form. And I just pray He'll give us this reality that people will be crying out from their heart for God. You know, think about the blind man there when Jesus came by and He said, have mercy on me. And He even had people trying to stop Him when He did try to cry out. There were people, be quiet, you're making a scene. He wouldn't be denied. There was no denying His reaching out for Christ. That's what we need. That's real conviction. That's when something really happens. And I just thank Him so much this morning for making this real. And I just pray He'll continue to make it real, because what He's done is real. And it may be a symbol, but it's a symbol of something that's real, it's eternal, and it's genuine. So I just appreciate Him this morning, and I pray that He'll put this responsibility on those He's convicting to come and to reach after Him and to not be denied. And I pray He'll put the responsibility on the rest of us to pray and to back this up with prayer, and to pray that He'll convict and work, because He answers the prayers of His people. When Zion travails, she does bring forth. But only God can create life. Well, we can be a part of the travailing, can't we? We can be part of that. Think about what He did for Lazarus there. He was dead in the tomb. Jesus was the only one that could bring him back to life. But didn't He tell the people who were there to roll the stone out of the way first? And then when He called him forth, didn't He tell them to go loose him and set him free from the bonds that he was in? Only God can give life. But there's a part that we all play. And I want to join in prayer to do that, because He is worthy, and this is important. I just thank Him this morning. Praise God.